the must-have items for the season. Absolutely, Audrey has her top picks for spring 2007. And guess who's my co-host today? The handsome Rick Hurst of General Hospital.
The bridge is crowded. I'm here.
I'm so glad you made it. The View from the Bay, it starts next. Stay tuned.
Whew.
Jewelry,
Right now on The View from the Bay, diets don't work. Make every bite count. Lasting weight loss is possible. And Audrey has wardrobe spring fever.
Gorgeous.
The View from the Bay starts now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The View from the Bay. It's Friday. Yay, April 20th. And guess who's here with me? Rick Hurst from General Hospital. What a treat.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Before we talk about you, I want to welcome all the viewers that are watching us online because we're streamed live every single weekday thanks to our friends at Comcast.
Exactly.
So, tell us all about yourself.
All about me, all about Rick Hurst. Well, I'm a pretty regular, normal guy. I'm a father of two beautiful boys, Cameron and Nicholas.
How old are they?
15 and 11.
Okay.
Yep.
And your wife is also here.
My wife is also here, my wife Donna.
She's so gorgeous. Look at that.
Babe.
Hi, Donna.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
you're just in town for the show.
Just in town for the show. I had been told a million times by so many people, it's like, one, shut up, two, get on a talk show. So it's here I am, and now you get to endure me for an hour. So.
Perfect, perfect. I don't have to do much talking. I do want to ask you though, because I heard that you're a black belt in karate.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so if you could chop me in half in 2 seconds if you wanted to.
Well, I don't know about that. I got my belt. I was trained for about 6 years, and I really loved it. And I've kind of gone on to other things in Hapkido, and then also box. I box now for the past 3 years.
That's fabulous.
So it's great. It's good for your head. It's good for your mindset and what have you.
Well, let's talk about your character, Rick Lansing on General Hospital. What's the drama now?
Well, it's drama. It's always drama with Rick Lansing. Right now, I'm in a place where I'm trying to use. As I want to do, manipulate a situation, use one of the local mob bosses against my brother, who's another local mob, Sonny Corinthos, of course. And Sonny and Jason want Alcazar dead, and Alcazar has information on me, so therefore I have to find a way to get one to kill the other so I can put the other in jail, and then it's all about me.
Wow. So, well, you're there. You're the attorney. You work for the DA.
I'm the district attorney, yes.
So you gotta, make peace. You
gotta try. You gotta try.
Well, we have a clip. You gotta set it up. This is you at work, right?
Yes, this is me at work. It's the Mr. Mom situation. I've just acquired custody of my daughter Molly, mine and Alexis' daughter Molly, and instead of my nanny has taken a powder again for the day, so I've decided to bring her to work at the PCPD, the Port Charles Police Department, and instead of obviously leaving her with her mother, which would be the obvious choice. So.
Alexis Davis.
Alexis Davis. So this is me with my daughter Molly and at work.
Okay, let's take a look.
My nanny had a family emergency, and I wasn't about to leave my pride and joy with some anonymous sitter.
But it's perfectly fine for you to bring her up here into this office directly above the PCBD lockup.
Don't you worry, Mayor. My daughter is safe with me. She's with her daddy.
Yeah, well, apparently she's not the only one basking in the glow of your protection.
Meaning?
I thought you would have had Lorenzo Alcazar arrested by now for attempting to murder Corinthos and Morgan. Unless that is, of course, you're in his pocket and not your brother's.
Well, what should we do, Molly? Should we tell the nice mayor what we've got planned? How nasty old Mr. Alcazar can really still be useful to us?
You're great. General Hospital, every weekday, 2 o'clock, right before our show.
Cheerios.
And we want to say congratulations because you received a Daytime Emmy nomination for
Yes.
Best Supporting Actor. You've already won like 2, right?
Yes, I've won 2 for younger and then supporting. And
wow, that's wonderful.
Yep,
Good luck with the third. You're definitely going to get it. I can feel it.
Thank you.
Well, let's get on to the show. The seasons are changing, so it's time to put away those winter outfits, even if you think it's going to rain. Absolutely, Audrey has the must-have items for spring and summer.
It's my spring and summer fashion notebook time. Here's where I've done all the work for you. I've been to all the fashion shows, looked through all the magazines, talked to all the fashion people in the know to find out the minimum number of pieces that you're going to have to buy to pull off this season's look. The definition of trend, the general course, or prevailing tendencies, or take a particular direction. Well, did you ever wonder how all these designers are creating similar silhouettes and styles? You know, it's not by chance. Take a look at this. This season.
Let's
Hard being
recap,
pretty.
Rick. Here are Audrey's top 8 picks for spring and summer 2007. A frock, a crop jacket, a wide-legged pant, a sheer blouse, ballet flat, a wedge, pant leather handbag, and big sunglasses, just like Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Now, if you're going to put these items together, here's what she suggests. Put the wide-legged pant with a sheer fitted blouse and a wedge.
That's what I
And
do.
another look would be a frock with or without a crop jacket and a ballet slipper. Did you get that?
Yeah, I did. I'm making mental notes. So I've met so many Janelles here, obviously, and we're going to check in with another Janelle Marie. So what are you up to, Janelle?
Yeah, hey, I am live at Lowell High School in San Francisco. Got Milk Gravity Tour. That's Anthony behind me. We got some skating, and you know what? An important message to get out to your kids. That's coming up on View from the Bay. Woo!
Less than 3 days to sign up for a very unique, once-in-a-lifetime event. It's called Bridging Communities 2007.
Nice.
Isn't that just beautiful?
Fantastic.
3,000 people will hold hands across the Golden Gate Bridge. All the money raised will go to organizations, nonprofits around the Bay Area. It's such a good cause, and afterwards there's going to be a big event at Christie Field. Fun for the whole family. Sign up at bridgingcommunities2007.com.
Cool. Now, here's something that my kids would really love. What do the world's top professional skateboarders, bikers, and inline skaters have in common? Dairy products, right? Okay, yeah. Here to explain is Janelle Marie, again. She's live at Lowell High School in the Sunset District. Hey, Janelle.
Hey guys, hey Rick, nice to see you. I watch your soap all the time.
Thank you.
Fabiola does too. She loves it. Okay, say hi to Rick. Hi, Rick. Yeah. All right, I'm with Fabiola da Silva, and she's a Brazilian, and you are an inline skater. But first, we're going to talk about the Got Milk Gravity Tour. I want you to get the message out there. What's the? And here she comes.
Whoa, no, wait. No, they staged that. That's
Psych.
not her. Is that her? No.
If it was, I'd say, pull your pants up.
Does that guy look like
Doing
a man?
good.
Wow, Janelle's really good.
Yeah.
Janelle's a pro, as you guys see
tatted.
it. So, what can I say?
Wow, you are a good teacher.
Woo!
You're a very good teacher. Oh, yeah.
She did
there's-
so good. Nice job. Right.
Janelle, you know how hot you are now?
Yeah, I was pretty hot, huh?
That was pretty hot.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Can
That
you
was
do
so
it?
impressive. That was
All right.
so cool. Thank you
Fa-
so much.
You're welcome, guys. Fabiola, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Ciao, Fabiola.
Bye,
Thank
Janelle.
you.
Bye, Rick.
That
Okay.
was rad.
That was rockin' rad. I just all kinds of things. If you want to see more of these amazing young people, the Got Milk Gravity Tour will be performing at the Asparagus Festival in Stockton, April 28th and 29th.
Well, next, financial woes. Michael Finney joins us with answers to your money problems. But first, imagine the possibilities, tasting delicious brews and supporting a good cause. Next,
Good for
the
me.
Beer Charity Connection will explain.
So what's better than drinking an ice-cold beer when it comes to a good cause? Legendary San Francisco International Beer Festival is back for its 24th year. Here to tell us about this unique event are Michelle Wessling and Alan Paul. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for
Some
joining
beers
us.
for us.
Thanks
Hi.
for having us.
Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, well, tell us about this festival.
Well, it benefits our children. And it started out very small. It started out with maybe 5 beers and 100 people, and now we're up to 300 beers and 3,200 people. And it's entirely run by us parents like me with 3 kids, and Alan has 1 child at the co-op, and he's also a brewmaster. So, yeah,
Busy
he's
man.
I do both sides.
Well, you're all volunteers, and what's the co-op? Who are the kids?
So it's a cooperative, and our children, they learn through a play-based philosophy, and there are 19 of them, and us parents teach them. We work alongside 2 teachers, and we are there for the work days. We do everything that has to do with the school, the maintenance, making sure snack is there, and raising our own funds.
What's the name of the school?
Telegraph Hill Cooperative Nursery School.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
So we have some tips, right? Is this just for men?
It is not just for men. This is a fantastic experience for women because it's so much fun. A beer festival is completely unpretentious. It's totally about having fun. So there's a couple things, though, I should tell you. This beer festival is on concrete. So if you're thinking about wearing shoes, you want flat shoes. You do not want to wear your stilettos because your feet will die. So, and also, you know, no open-toed shoes because there's a bit of spillage on the ground because there's plenty of beer. Also, you're going to want to remember to eat something. We're going to have a lot of lovely flavors to pair your tastings with. Another practical point about going to the bathroom. Sometimes, especially with women, there are long lines. We've doubled the number of bathrooms this year, but also just go before you need to go. Fill up your little tasting stein and look at the map, know where you're going to go next, and enjoy yourself so that you know you don't find a moment where it's
It's
problematic.
amazing. The parents need as many rules as the kids at this point. You know?
That's good. That's good. Well, let's taste some beers. Can you explain what they are?
Well, I'm the brewmaster of San Francisco Brewing as well as a parent, and we have some San Francisco beers here today. This is the watermelon wheat beer.
What is that one like?
It's a crisp, fruity, delightful beer, very refreshing.
Very refreshing.
then we
This is
have
a
the-
good beer for women.
Okay.
Excellent. Then we have the Albatross Lager, Pilsner style, lighter colored, but it's got some medium body to it. It's got some flavor and taste. Then we have the Emperor Norton, an eccentric brew named after the eccentric Emperor Norton.
Oh.
Well, I'm an eccentric guy, so I think I might want to have that
We
one.
want to try that one?
Oh,
Okay.
sure.
What is that one like?
The Emperor Norton Lager
Please.
is
Asking
amber,
you shall receive.
malty, rich, but it's not bitter. Just like the Emperor Norton himself,
that's
the original
smooth.
crazy man of San
Oh, that's
Francisco.
smooth. That's nice. That's a nice beer right there.
Oh, yummy. Well, what's the
You
next
have to
one?
take a 5.
The Shanghai. Maybe I should try that one. Shanghai IPA.
Shanghai IPA is a big, full-bodied beer.
Oh.
It's rich,
There you go.
Okay.
flavorful.
Complex.
It's got a lot of
Not
hops to
complex.
Dynamic.
Oh, this is good.
See?
I
Yeah.
like this too.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last one.
This is the Alcatraz Stout. You don't want to get locked up unless you have a supply of this. This is a rich, full-bodied, dark, roasty brew.
Yeah, it looks
Lot
like
of
an
options.
Irish.
And didn't you say once, though, also that this kind of brew is something that women don't necessarily glom onto at first, but when they taste it, they think it's fantastic? I mean, you don't expect it because it's dark, it looks a little
Right.
heavy,
Yeah, it looks
but
like a
it's
rich
also,
beer,
but
It's a sleeper style.
Ah, okay.
Try it when you go to the festival. It surprises a lot of people.
Didn't you have a story about the Emperor Norton?
Yes, the Emperor Norton, long live the Emperor. He's the original eccentric, crazy guy of San Francisco.
he lived during the gold rush era.
A wealthy businessman. Lost his mind on when he lost his money on a business deal.
Oh, good. I hope that
Declared
doesn't
himself
leave me
the
there.
Emperor of the United States and protector of Mexico. And ruled his empire from San Francisco for about 20 years, from 1860 to 1880.
Well, how do we get a beer named after us?
Go nuts.
We're gonna go nuts, go a little
Yeah.
crazy. Can you explain what's in front of us here?
We have the malted barley here, which is the main ingredient in the beer. This is from the grain to your glass right here. And this is the herb, the spice of the beer. This is hops. This is, we use maybe in a brew at San Francisco Brewing Company, maybe 10 or 15 pounds of the hops, where we might use 500 pounds of the malted barley.
You'll recognize this this aroma. Smell this. You get aroma and you get bitters from that beautiful flower.
Oh yeah.
Does it link up with? Yeah.
And it's
with
one.
the
And,
taste?
is it just one flower or several flowers or a combination of different ones or?
This is one of the flowers right here, dried and compressed.
Oh,
Oh,
wow,
it's
that's
light,
neat.
too.
Yeah, that's cool. And then there's going to be food.
Yeah, there's going to be food. This is such a wonderful community event. The beer is donated, the food is donated. All these San Francisco restaurants are going to be presenting highbrow and lowbrow flavors. Like you can get gourmet Chex Mix, you can get Swedish meatballs, you can get beautiful food like
Oh,
this
yeah.
from Butterfly
Oh
Restaurant.
yeah, all the
Fantastic, yeah.
popular restaurants in San Francisco. Well, that's great. But I heard this is sold out.
Yeah.
But you folks, the San Francisco Beer Fest is offering 10 tickets for sale. 10 left.
The last
It's happening
10.
at Fort Mason on the 28th of April, exclusively to our viewers. Just buy the tickets by sending an email to sfbeerfestival@yahoo.com to get the last 10 tickets for this beer fest. And thanks for the education tips on beer.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thanks so much. Well, next, kick your bad habit. Later, tricks and tips to quitting anything and everything.
Hopefully not this.
But first, Michael Finney will answer your financial worries. Protect your money. That's next. Well, there's been a lot of sad and heartbreaking news this week, and it's important to remember what's important in your life. So check out the Kitchen Think blog on our website and type out your thoughts. It's really interesting. Now we have some financial tips. What do you do with a gift card from a store you don't even like? Or how can you avoid all those credit card promotions? Michael Finney is here now with all the answers, like always. How are you? Okay.
I'm doing good.
I always get gift cards. I love them, but you're right. Sometimes you get one that you may not like.
Yeah.
We went out to the streets,
Okay.
talked to View from the Bay viewers, and asked them their financial worries. Here's the first one.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Anuj from San Francisco. My question is that I have a gift certificate from a store I don't shop at. What do I do with it?
Okay.
How did he get it? Who gave it to him? Who knew so little about this guy?
I know.
No, it happens all the time. Look, what you do is you can go on the internet, and there are a ton of sites out there that buy gift cards, sell gift cards, and trade gift cards. Now, they're all going to tell you that there's like a 20% premium. So if you had a $100 gift card, you would get $80 back. Okay, that's generally not the way it really works.
Oh, okay.
Once you start getting
That's
deeper
loan
into
sharking.
it, it's loan
Oh.
yeah, 20%.
Yeah.
What they end up doing is it's 20% to sell or buy a card, but then you've got to be a member. Okay,
Oh,
and then
even
there'll be an
more.
exchange fee.
Right.
You've got to send it in. So if you go that way and you go on the internet, you really have to check out what the real cost of this is going to be. Which brings me to eBay. If you put these things on eBay, you'll almost always get about 85%, depending on what it is you have. It's even better yet, re-gift the thing. If you
there you
get
go.
something from
Re-gifting is the
PetSmart,
best.
absolutely.
That's the best.
So if you get something from PetSmart and you don't have a pet, give it to someone who does have a pet.
You're good.
Or go down to the store. I've done this. Go down to the store and say, hey, I've got this card. When you make your purchase, how about if I make it and I'll take the cash from you? And then that way
okay.
you know it's real.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
and then the person, hey, they're doing you a favor. It
Right.
doesn't hurt them, doesn't hurt the store. Everybody's out okay, and that way you're not out that 20%.
That's good. You're so good. Thanks for all the ideas. Now we asked number two, their financial worries. Here it is.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Steve from Corte Madera, and I have a question about credit card banks and credit cards that will send you a promotion offer for a $10,000 line and then send you a card with a $250 line, of which they charge $175 in fees. What is my recourse? I cannot get these people off my back, and now they're sending me a bill with a late charge.
Okay.
Okay, I
That's
know
just
the
weird.
credit card company this guy's dealing with. I'm all but positive. I can't say it because then I'd be wrong and they'll sue me. But
Sure. Okay.
I do know the deal. Here's what it is. You get a letter in the mail that says, as he said, $10,000 credit line. You go, hey, I'll do that.
Right.
So you send it in. Well, had you read all the fine print, it would have said, or any amount of money we feel like giving you.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
so you send it in. Now, you've agreed to get a credit card from these guys no matter what amount they're going to allow you to borrow up to. Okay, there's one credit card company out there that gives almost everyone I talk to $250, but then they charge you $175 to get the card.
This is, so what do you do?
So what you do is what we have found with this company, and I was talking to Consumer Action about this just recently, and they've had the same, but basically call them up and argue with them.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work, hang up, wait a day, call them back up again.
Okay.
And just say, look, I don't want it, I was looking for the 10,000 and try it. If that doesn't work, then you call my hotline because that's what it is. Okay.
And you go
You and your
after.
And then,
people.
and then we give them a call.
Okay.
And
Sure.
then see if they feel like doing it for us.
Good advice. Well, we have one more viewer who has one more question. Let's see what that person has to say.
Hey, we're Paul and Daniela from Arkansas. What we want to know is where's the best place to find investment information for someone who's new at handling their money?
I love this question because there's an entire industry built in this country to get you to believe you don't know anything about money and there's no way you can ever understand it. And it's simply not true. Not only that, you have to understand it.
Right.
Even if you allow someone else to do the investment for you, you have to watch them. You have to understand what's going on. So the easiest thing to do is to start by reading the business section in your local paper. Don't try to read everything. Don't go to the little fine print because it's going to depress you. It's going to confuse you. Start with the articles that you understand. And every day there's going to be at least one article in there that you like, honestly. So if you travel, there'll be one on hotels. So you kind of read about hotels. And if you start doing that every day, and then I want you to buy Kiplinger's magazine, fabulous magazine.
Yeah, I actually get that.
Do you?
I
It
do
did
get that.
great.
Yeah.
It's fabulous. That, Smart Money, which is put out by the Wall Street Journal, both of those two are absolutely excellent. And then finally, Wall Street Journal puts out a book and it's about this big like this. It's a tall, skinny book. I think it costs like $15, and it is Guide to Personal Finance. And if you buy that book after you read the paper a little bit, and then you go through that, in 6 months you're going to know enough to be dangerous to yourself.
Wow.
And in a year from now, you're going to be a good investor.
Wow,
Honestly.
that's great.
And it's actually easy, and it's much like, for guys, it's like sports. It's like you're reading the box scores.
My wife is like, will you get off the internet already with the whole of the money thing and the shifting this here and that?
Yeah.
It's like...
So, and you don't have to get crazy about it, but it is absolutely doable. Don't be fooled into believing you can't do it. Anybody can do this. It's just you kind of have to wade into it very slowly.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. Because if you try to jump into it, you're going to get overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's going to be
And then you'll
confusing.
end up with a 1% savings account. So don't do it. Just slowly go into it.
Thank you. Good advice. Michael, have a good weekend.
Thank you.
so
You
much.
guys do too.
So, Rick, what's coming up next?
So next, don't let a bad habit affect your life or your relationships. Coming up next, tips to help you quit whatever you want.
And money. We're going to talk more about money, what every woman needs to know. Financial guru Susie Orman joins us on Monday.
So, do you have a bad habit? I know I do. I've had several. And if you do, you know that quitting an addiction can be tough. It doesn't happen overnight. And here to help us give a fighting chance to this is Karina Kaufman, author of How to Quit Whatever You Want to Quit.
So let's talk about addictions. What kind of addictions are there?
There are many, many different kinds of addictions. Yeah, you name it. You can overdo it, you can abuse it.
Wow. Did you have any addictions?
I did. I had a devastating 20-year eating disorder, life-threatening, suicidally depressing eating disorder.
What kind of addiction was it? Just eating disorder? You were just sugars or something?
I was addicted to sugar.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And that's an eating disorder?
Yes, I couldn't, you know, no matter what I was feeling, if it was, sometimes even if I'm feeling happy, I just couldn't handle my feelings, and so I would use food, especially sugar, and especially if I was feeling badly. I'd eat a birthday cake or two, actually, sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you get over this?
Well, so many people have asked me, and now it's great because now I can hold up my book and say, it's all in there. You know, it's so hard to put it all in a few sentences. There was a key, a missing key, and I will be telling you about that, what turned the tide for me.
Wow. Well, can you tell us a little bit right now? What did turn the tide for you?
Well, what happened was I went to the 12-step program because it was free, and that's really all that there was, right? Oh, by the way, I have a goal, and hopefully Oprah will help me with this. I want to start an alternative to the 12-step program based on my 10 steps, because I got actually 16 years of sobriety in AA, but I was going home and eating a birthday cake or two, so it was not working for me, you know? Right. So what happened after all these miserable years was that I had a therapist who mentioned this little inner child concept. It was in 1989, and I, of course, fired her because it was way too weird for me. But nothing was working, and so one day I thought, you know, I'm going to try this. And what is this inner child thing? So I had this urge to binge, and instead of, you know, the car was actually turning around, I was heading towards the 7-Eleven, and I thought, you know, this time I'm going to do it differently. So I stopped the car, and there was a park there, and I went to this park, and I sat down, and I went inside, and I said, if there's a little child inside of me, what are you feeling? And I met her. It was, oh my gosh, she was so mad. I was so surprised. I had no idea this was going to happen. And I met this little child who was so mad. She had a bat in one hand and her hand on the other hip, and she had her legs like this, and she said, I'm mad, and I want to be loved anyway.
This is what's going on in your mind? This is what you're visioning?
This is what happened when I got in touch with this voice that said, I want cake.
Right.
Okay, so basically I made up this story. It's kind of complicated, but I made up this story that said, when I hear this voice that says, I have to have cake, I would pretend that it was this little child. See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a Jungian
there you go.
Term.
It is.
It's a shadow character is what
there
they do.
You
is
go.
You take that part of yourself that you're not really sure what propels you to do those kind of things, and all of a sudden, you know, you give it a name, you give it a shape, a person, and you're looking at it in the eyes. And
there you go. And see, that's the book version, but I didn't read any books on this. I've never been, I was way too busy with my eating disorder. I had to drop out of college, actually, because of the eating disorder. So this is just something that I basically made up, but it's nice to know that it's a real theory as well.
Yeah,
well, you have some great tips for people fighting other addictions, you know, whether it's smoking or eating or shopping.
It applies pretty much to it can apply to anything.
All addictions.
Okay.
All addictions.
The first one is change your thoughts. What do you mean by that?
That's step one. And basically, my book could have just been that one step, but I have so much more to say, you know. It's very hard for me to contain this within 6 minutes, so I'm talking so fast. So change your thoughts mean that if you have a craving, and if you think of another thought at the same time, you have to pick either one of those thoughts. So if you change your thoughts and just think about not only something else, but something you love. I started country western dancing when I overcame the eating, when I was making that shift, right? And so when I'd want to binge, I'd go, and I'd think about country dancing or other things, you know, the ocean, something like that.
How cool is that?
The second tip is breathe.
Yes. So what happens when you have this this urge that comes over you? It's very frightening, you know, especially when you've been trying for years to overcome it and it's not happening. And so so after you've changed your thoughts, you are basically in a safety mode for, you know, a few seconds. And so it's just important to just look around and realize you're safe. It's okay. Take a few slow, deep breaths. It's okay. You can relax. You're not going to do it.
Okay. And number 3, adjust your language. What do you mean by that?
It's people are talking about it now with The Secret, right? And so I've been doing this for many years. And basically what it means is pay attention to how you speak. If you say negative things, you will get negative things back. All right? So I always said, I will be on TV, right? That's why I know I will be on Oprah, because I've been saying that for years, right? So once you have handled your addiction, which is really the easy part, because this book will help you handle your addictions, the rest of it is so magnificent. It's basically your life. You have this palette now, and you can paint on this palette whatever you want in your life. And so while you're painting, make sure you're putting positive energy on that palette. And watch how you speak.
Wow, that's great. I don't know what I'm addicted to. Cheese. That's the only thing I can think
You don't have to be addicted to anything.
No,
it's wonderful. You're a normie.
Absolutely.
We call you guys normies.
Thank you so much. And if you want to see Karina in person, you're actually going to be at the New Living Expo next weekend. Check out our website for details and more tips on overcoming addiction. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was really helpful.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Well, we're going to eat what you love. Weight loss made easy. No fads, no gimmicks, just results. And need help in the kitchen? Ladies, we've got the answer. Sexy Chef Curtis Stone is here on Monday. An acquaintance friend of mine tried this diet and swears by it, and you can actually eat what you love, including ice cream, and still lose weight. What? Our next guest demystifies the whole dieting concept. He's the author of this book, The Power of the Bite, Impressive Weight Loss One Bite at a Time. Please welcome Dr. Michael Nierenberg. Thanks, Doctor, for coming in. So,
thank you for having me.
Okay, why is this book different than all the other diet books?
Well, I think this book is different because it's for real people leading real lives. There's not a lot of negative energy, a lot of don'ts, a lot of things you can't do. It allows you to eat normal food during a normal day, just less of it, and lose weight.
So you're talking like if I have hamburgers for lunch, I could still eat that?
Right. Basically, what you need to do is just leave a couple bites behind. For instance, if you had a hamburger every day and you left 2 bites behind, you'd weigh about 25 pounds less in 2 years.
Wow.
Still eating your hamburger.
That's easy. And then there was you said there's some other things we could cut out easily, like on sandwiches.
Right. One of my favorites is if you eat a sandwich every day and you just took the top piece of bread off and then combined it into sort of a double-decker, again, you'd lose 8 to 10 pounds a year. Just doing that. And that's what I say. I mean, there are a lot of diets, and this is really not a diet, it's just a way of approaching your food. There are a lot of diets that say, well, you can't have a burger, you can't have a hamburger, you can't have white food. There are no can'ts. It's just you have what you enjoy, just a little less of it.
Yeah, because
I'm the guy, you know what, I'm the guy that's, I love to eat. I mean, I come from an Italian family. Every Sunday, we're sitting around, you know, all the big plate of pasta, and then you've got your meatballs and sausage and everything, and that's the appetizer. So then you move on from there. So, but I've become the guy, God knows because of the profession that I'm in, I've become the guy that takes the bagel love bagels, but I'm like, I'm not going to put down the bagel. I dig out the center of it. I'll still toast it. I'll still put a little bit of butter on it so that I can still have it.
Absolutely.
I mean, is that something or am I sort of denying myself of that? That's the thing that I always wonder about that. It's like, oh, you're denying yourself the actual bagel.
No, I mean, that's really the approach, because 100 calories a day that you cut off, just 100 calories a day is 10 pounds a year.
Right.
So again, if you're every little bit, if you have, for instance, 4 M&Ms a day above and beyond what you'd normally eat, that's 2 pounds in a year.
Oh my
So
gosh.
anything you do in the opposite direction, taking off from the top, like the inside of the bagel, is absolutely correct.
Right.
What inspired you to write this book? Because I know you never had plans to write one.
Right.
You know?
Well, I think what it was watching patients struggle with their weight for 30 years and nobody winning, and there's statistics to prove nobody wins, made me realize that there were too many solutions that really weren't solutions. So what I wanted to do was come up with something that was basic and simple, went back to principles that everybody could follow during a normal day with their normal food. And in that way, I was able to talk to people, and they were able to follow this.
You had a story about one man, though, that kind of,
Right.
changed everything.
This is, and he'll probably know who he is if he hears the story. This was perfect. Somebody came in, they needed to lose weight, they were overweight, hypertensive. And I said, okay, well, we're going to set a goal. I want you to lose 4 ounces a week. And
4 ounces?
4 ounces, that's all. 4 ounces, and he laughed. He said, oh, come on, Doc, give me something to do. I said, no, that's all I want you to start with. This is someone who'd never lost any weight. So I said, you're going to come back in a month a pound lighter. He said, oh, come on, let's move it up. No, I said, that's fine. If you can do more, I want a pound. So he said, well, that's nothing. I said, fine. So in 2 years, you're going to come back 25 pounds lighter. He said, I can't do that. I said, wait a second. That's what you just did. A quarter of a pound a week, 4 ounces, 1 pound a month, 25 pounds in 2 years. He got it. And after that, he was able to lose weight.
Wow, that's
So you're literally changing to a certain extent, you're changing your way of thinking and how you're dealing with your food, right?
Exactly. That's what it is. It isn't a diet. It's a way of approaching your food so that you don't deny yourself things. You just eat slightly less of what you really enjoy. As a matter of fact, I always say to eat even better food, but less of it.
Right.
Don't waste it on cheese that's, well, we won't mention the name, but you know what we're talking about. And just sit down and eat a smaller amount, perhaps, of a better cheese.
Right.
Okay. What if you eat out a lot? We saw, I think you guys saw it too on the show yesterday. I eat a lot of junk, and I go out to restaurants a lot. I mean, what do I do if I go to the restaurants all the time?
Well, I think there are two things. Number one, it would be better if you didn't.
Okay.
Restaurants are difficult to eat in. There are a lot of calories. Their job is to make you happy, bring plenty of food, leave bread on the table, etc. Though, by the same token, I do want people to go out occasionally and enjoy themselves, because then during the week you can be a little more rigorous with what you're doing. But given that you're going to eat out, make some choices. I mean, a lot of them people know, but you don't think about. Get the dressing on the side. Pick the lower calorie entrees. Split an entree with a friend if you're with someone. Or, again, do the same thing. If you get the sandwich, take the top piece of bread off. Apple pie for dessert, fine. Leave the ice cream on the side and don't get it a la mode.
Yeah, if the whole meal is like the size of a manhole cover, you don't have to finish
exactly.
it.
And the other thing
But
is...
it's all in front of you.
Well, but the other thing is there are ways of doing that. One of the things is you can actually have them bring your doggy bag or whatever first, divide the food up then, and set it aside.
That's a good idea.
That is
That
great.
way, it's not even in front of you. You don't have to deal with it.
Okay, what about exercise? What's your advice on that?
I think exercise needs to be dealt with the same way your food is. You should lose weight an ounce at a time, and you should exercise a minute at a time. And by that, people say you need to exercise an hour a day, an hour and a half a day. That's daunting for a lot of people. If you take it in small steps, 10 minutes a day is a little more than an hour a week.
Right.
Okay? So an hour a week is 50 hours a year, just 10 minutes a day. If you, for instance, go to high school and walk around the track once a day
Quarter
in
of
a
a
year,
mile.
right, a quarter of a mile, in a year, that would be 3.5 marathons or 9,000 calories just walking around a track once a day. So
Baby steps.
Baby steps, exactly. Repeated over and over. It works, compounding interest in the bank. It's the spare change under the sofa cushion that you're looking for. The few calories here, same thing with exercise. A few steps here, a few steps there.
You're fabulous. You have to stay. We need more tips. More with Dr. Nierenberg. One bite at a time. The power of the bite when we come back. We are back with Dr. Michael Nierenberg, author of The Power of the Bite, Impressive Weight Loss One Bite at a Time. And we're going to get into some more tips right away. to help, actually me, with this, because I'm struggling with this. The first one is know yourself. What do you mean by that?
Well, again, this is a book written for real people in the real world. And I think you have to realize that most of us break down. I mean, we want to stay on a diet, but we can't. You know, at 10 o'clock at night, all of a sudden things call to us and from the cabinet, and you go in and you have a snack. So I think what you need to do is prepare for this. Say, look, I am going to look for something to snack on at 10 or 11 at night, and go to the store when you're sane and you're not hungry and pick out some reasonable snacks that will be less caloric than probably what's in there left over from Halloween or something like that.
Yeah, that's good.
That you need to preempt these things, and that's one way of knowing yourself.
Otherwise, you're the Tasmanian devil going right through that pants.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think knowing yourself too is what you're willing to give up. I mean, some people say, look, I'll give up a cheeseburger. I don't like them anyway. That's fine. Some people say, I've got to have them. Well, if you do, then you've got to figure out what can you do given that. Leaving the bites behind, maybe leave off the mayo, whatever, so that it's a win-win situation.
That's right. You know, I do eat a lot of burgers, and now I switched to veggie burgers. That's what I'm doing. That's my change. Yeah, that's the little change I'm making.
And if you make it repeatedly, it'll count.
And there's fiber, so
Exactly.
that's very important. Your second tip is read labels, lose weight.
Right.
What do you mean by what do we read on those labels?
Well, I think, well, firstly, there is tons of information on labels, too much. And like the book, I like to simplify things. You need to look at two things, portion size and calories.
Okay.
Now, again, we're not talking about heart-healthy fat, trans fat. We're talking about hips. We're talking about getting the weight down. When you look at a label, you need to know what the calories per serving size are is extremely important. Because, for instance, if you pick up 2 frozen entrees, let's say 2 chicken TV dinners, they could vary by 100 or 200 calories easily. So if you ate that on a daily basis, okay, 200 calories is 20 pounds a year. So if you ate brand A instead of brand B, having sort of the same type dinner, you could weigh 20 pounds more at the end of the year. But looking at what the caloric difference is and making a conscious choice, you can save those calories.
Yeah, the servings are the little tricky part because you're like, oh, this only has 400 calories, and then you don't look at it as 4 servings, so it's 1,200 calories or 1,600 calories. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are some choices we can make? You said like orange juice, for example, right? Instead of orange
well,
juice.
for instance, you take 2 or 3 oranges and make a glass of orange juice. So obviously, sitting down for breakfast and having orange juice is going to be 3 times the calories. Would you be happy with an orange?
Just having an orange instead of the orange juice.
Or something simpler, for instance, the difference between raisins and grapes. I mean, they're both healthy.
Right.
Okay, but you can save 24 pounds a year of weight just eating grapes instead of raisins. That's because you eat more raisins relatively because they're dry and they fill up the cup quicker than the grapes. So simple choices like that, even among good foods, can make a huge difference.
Green is
Huge
good.
difference.
Green's your friend, is for life.
Exactly. And you can't be fooled either. There's a great article in the paper the other day that, for instance, showed that a chicken Caesar salad at this one restaurant had many more calories than their lasagna, their pasta with sausage, and their pizza.
Because of the dressing.
Exactly, the dressing and what they're doing with it. So again, knowing a little about the caloric content is very important.
Okay.
And that's where you get this from the labels.
Your next tip is hunger is your friend?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's extremely difficult to lose weight if you are totally full. It just does not work. So when you are a little bit hungry, and I don't mean ravenous, I mean a little bit hungry, you know that you are losing weight. The calories are coming off more than they're going on. So again, it's just like looking at your food in a different way. You need to look at hunger as a positive thing, not a negative thing. So many times people say, oh, I just don't want to be hungry at all, and you fill up to that point. That is, again, going to lead to weight gain. More so if you're a little hungry and you're walking around life, and let's say a great chocolate chip cookie presents itself, you can have the cookie. Because 2 things, you won't feel overly full, and secondly, there is room in there calorically to have that cookie and move on.
Right,
That's why hunger is really your friend.
Yeah, then there's a difference between being satisfied and being just feeling
Blooded.
Yeah,
Exactly. And maybe even a little short of that. You know, just like you could say, like I always say, when I'm done dinner, I could probably go out with somebody and have a light dinner again. You know, that's just a comfortably, I'm happy, but there's a little bit of room left.
Oh, I eat till it hurts.
Well, that's
It's not healthy.
That's wrong. Yes.
That's
food
really-
coma.
Yeah.
Just basically food coma.
so
Exactly.
bad for you.
That's right. But then what happens if, that's right, 10 minutes later a friend says, oh, you've got to come with it. There is this cheesecake. It is unbelievable. You can't go, right?
No,
you couldn't put it in.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody who stops at the liver and says, I'll have the cheesecake.
Okay.
That's cool.
The last tip you have is weigh yourself. What do you say about that?
That's frightening.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, man?
Okay.
Often, or what are you talking about?
Well, here's the thing. Again, a lot of people look at it. Matter of fact, a lot of my patients refuse to get a scale. They said they don't want to know. It's like ignorance is bliss. Well, that doesn't mean you're going to weigh any less because you're not weighing yourself.
That's true.
What you want is you want a data point, and that's what a scale is. It gives you a number. It doesn't say you weigh too much or you weigh too little. It's a number. What you do is decide whether it's telling you way too much or too little. So don't blame the scale. That number on a once-a-week basis is very helpful to tune down your calories or tune them up if you need to, depending on where you are. If you're at goal, great. If you're not, work on it. And the nice thing about this is it takes into consideration your exercise, your food, how long you're sleeping, all that, which are very complex formulas, and boils it down to one little thing. Stand on the scale once a week.
That's
Now, if you're going up and you want to know, you can certainly weigh yourself every day for a while, but you'll drive yourself crazy.
Oh, that's me.
That's me too.
Every day
That's
on the
me, like,
scale?
oh,
Every day?
And then we go, you know, it's.
Yeah, because I mean, you can just water weight. You can vary 2,
Yeah,
3,
exactly.
4 pounds in a day.
Exactly.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like if I should go to the bathroom and
Well, that'll help. That's a start. That's a start.
Dr. Nierenberg, thank you so much. People
Yes,
rave
sir.
about this
Oh, thank
book,
you.
including this lady, acquaintance friend of mine that I know, The Power of the Bite. Thank you so much. And we also want to thank Rick Hurst. Thank you from General Hospital every weekday at 2 p.m. on ABC 7.
had such a great time.
Please
Thank
come
you so
back
much.
again. Please come back again.
will.
And you
Thank
too.
you
Thank you so much.
I
Have a
really
nice
appreciate
weekend.
it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Monday on The View from the Bay. Get into shape and bond with your baby. It's possible. Plus, need some help in the kitchen? How about sexy chef Curtis Stone? Then financial guru Susie Orman. The View from the Bay, Monday.
ABC 7 News at 9.